Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us as the country continues to mourn the 19 elementary school students and 2 teachers killed in Texas yesterday. The question remains, how do we make this stop?
Well, until there is an answer to that question, schools here and across the country must constantly update their safety protocols to be ready for new threats. Stephen Pimpo visited some area schools to discuss their safety measures, and he joins us in the studio with more. Stephen.
Andrea Winston, a school shooting emergency plan is something no one wants to use. But according to Education Week, the attack on Robb Elementary is the 27th school shooting of 2022. That's forcing schools to find new ways to be ready for this nightmare scenario.
I would do anything to protect the students here. If that means getting in the way of a bullet, I would do that. And we have teachers here who have that same mindset.
As educators in Mississippi watched the horror of the elementary school shooting in Texas unfold, some of them couldn't help but think of the children under their protection.
First thing I think of is my school secure or my children safe. When the students walk through the door, they become my children.
I think every time a school shooting occurs, it hits home. I think it becomes reality more and more for educators across the world that it is a possibility that we may be in a crisis situation where we have to put our lives on the line for our students.
Dr. Shanika McKinney, assistant principal and safety coordinator for Bell Shivers Middle School in Aberdeen, tweeted that this latest school shooting left her with several questions. Chief among them, what kind of safety procedures did Robb Elementary have, and were they followed during the attack?
When there is a crisis situation, most people go into a flight or fight response, and we want to make sure that through practice that our teachers are prepared.
It starts by keeping track of everyone going in or out of the school.
No student is allowed to let someone is out of the building. Teachers are required to have their classroom doors locked. No student is allowed to open the classroom door.
Dr. McKinney says that while the safety team comes up with its plan before the school year, they reevaluate it throughout the year so that they are prepared for any new crisis they might face.
It's vitally important to go back and say, what can we do different? How do we better plan for this?
It's something that Lowndes County Sheriff's Deputy and Caledonia School Resource Officer Chris Blaylock says also happens on the law enforcement side.
After the events in Parkland, Florida, training changed. We don't wait for backup. We immediately go in to address whatever threat that our students and faculty are facing.
No matter the crisis, Dr. McKinney says she and her staff understand that their place is also between their students and that threat.
We're here to protect children and educate children. That's why we're here.
Even though the semester is coming to a close, Dr. McKinney says that the first thing she did this morning was send an email to the Bell Shivers teachers reminding them of the safety procedures they've gone over all year.